Well, Haley, we're getting in an earlier practice today. What is it, our fourth practice?
I believe so.
That's some dedication for you right there. That's how she gets done, by doing it.
Honestly.
And I'd say it's going pretty well so far, wouldn't you?
I'd say it's going pretty good.
It'd be nice to see what these things sound like when it all, sucks in together. Because, of course, we're just getting familiar with each other as musicians a little bit. We barely have gotten used to each other's, like, cues or whatever. You know how I've noticed, though, in this last practice, I noticed that you're actively attempting to pay attention to phrasing, like, for example, the duration of a given note or word to try to match mine, which is good because it's something that it's like people don't necessarily approach it with that approach. They could try to deviate and do something that's complementary rather than simply going with the uniformity. I like things to be as in sync as possible,
Yep. I agree. I'm just that person too that when I am learning something, I always want to learn it how it's being taught, like.
Well, I think ultimately this is going to help the ability of people to, it's going to help maximize the extent to which people who might like a given song or appreciate it, to maximize the extent that they will. Because, anytime let's say you wrote whatever song you think is like a super brilliant famous song, like, I don't know, what do you think is a really good song that's famous?
Let's see. What about like Billie Jean by Michael Jackson?
Oh, that's a pretty good song too. It's not only famous, but it's a pretty good song. Billie Jean. I'm the kid. That's a good song. Anyway, so if that song were, in fact, that's a great example of what I'm going to talk about here, which is that if that song is demonstrated bad, if it's executed badly, it could be an awful song. And if you're not thinking about it in terms of, well, let me understand this song stripped away from the singer or the musician or whomever, then most people, most of the time, would say that's a terrible song if their experience of listening to it as a song isn't good. Even if, so it's like if you get somebody who's a terrible musician, poor pitch, singing, and all kinds of other stuff, and you go, okay, here's the world's greatest song. Now you perform to somebody who's never heard that song before. That person who's never heard the song before is not going to probably think the song is very good after listening to it perform so badly. So it's important to polish all of your turds, as they say.
I've never heard that one.
Well, it's usually used to refer to prettying up things that are bad, but just as a general term means presentation really matters a lot, and execution, doing it cleanly, trying to stay as true to the concept as possible, and not getting improvisational, deviational, or stuff like that. Then that's important, I think.
I agree with that.